Hello everyone and welcome back to another Hitman 2 walkthrough. So today we're on Columbia, playing on professional difficulty, which gives us 3 saves and we will be utilizing them. And I took the liberty of speeding up some of the footage this time around instead of cutting it. That way we can see what I'm actually doing instead of cutting what, just the action itself. And so each playthrough, I usually like going for the girl in this level first because it's the easiest on professional and master. So you can go ahead and knock this guy out. You don't actually have to use that can if you don't want to. It's another throwable for later. You can also just get right next to him and subdue him and he'll be good to go. What we're going to do is climb over the wall, and what you want to do is get this guy to go get distracted by a coin or another throwable, and you can subdue him and immediately put him into that container right there. Once he's over there, you can just simply subdue him and put him in the container right where you are. You're going to wait for the main target to be on the phone, and she's going to finish her conversation, eventually saying that she's going to go visit the statue, which is when her and her assistant are going to be walking out, and that's your cue to throw something in the room to distract her and keep her in there. You do have to make sure that you time it properly, otherwise what's going to happen is her assistant is going to go look for the coin and she's going to walk out. So right when her assistant walks out, you can throw the coin and then she'll go investigate it, to which you can shoot her and then just hide her body. And this next part is me trying to take care of the surveillance system, which isn't necessarily mandatory, but it's highly recommended that you, in your own way or the method that I do, take care of it, because it's going to make your life a lot easier not having to worry about cameras throughout the entire map. Because, for instance, if you get caught on a camera somewhere else in the map, you're going to have to come back here and erase the evidence. So doing this sort of just kind of gives you a little bit of a safety net, so to speak. And again, I do this kind of my own way. I take out like 1 or 2 guys if possible. I usually turn on the sync, turn on the fire alarm, and wait for the guys to rush out. That's when I run upstairs and disable the evidence, as you can see right here. Now, though, it's worth noting that that lady in there will sit in there. And so you kind of have to sneak behind her and go disable the evidence. And at the same time, be mindful, and this is why it may be good to experiment if you're comfortable with it your own way. I almost got caught at least like once or twice doing this. It was really risky. That guy in that balcony came around the corner, and you can see here in just a moment that he almost spotted me. So it was a really lucky save. So this can be done if you go a little bit more slowly, I believe. It's not a huge deal, but I was just trying to get out of here as soon as possible, just so I could kind of be safe on the road again. So I threw that to distract him so that I could then run out, but he wasn't exactly wasn't taking the bait. So I had to wait a minute and then run out at the last second. Just as I thought I was okay, he comes back. I forgot how to vault for a second, and there we go. That was a really, really close save. But from there, you can climb back down the pipe, back over the wall, which we first came, and we're back on the road. And now to get to the mansion, which is where our next target is, I took a little bit of a detour, when in reality, when you start at the bus stop, the mansion is literally straight in front of you. It's a main road, and it's really not that, you don't really have to go this way at all. But this road right here that I'm on, behind us is where we spawn. So going to the right of the wall, there's a vine you can climb up, and there's going to be 2 gardeners, which are not there on Master. Master, they're actually further down, which brings its own problems. But right now, what you can do is kind of just ignore these guys. You can take them off if you'd like, but I didn't really see a purpose to, because it was just taking up more time. So I just kind of ignored them. And there's going to be a patrolling set of guards up here on your left, and what you can do is just get to a little outcrop of the lawn where it's kind of like walled off, right where I'm looking, and that's where I used, well, that's kind of like my next like checkpoint, so to speak. And what you want to do is, once those guards are done doing the rotation, you can come down by the steps here, and your pistol can be used as a distraction, which I found out just now after all this time playing Hitman. You can use that to distract that guard and sneak over into this bathroom right here, which is kind of going to be our hub for taking out our next target. Turning on the sink, you can get this guard to come over here and investigate, which eliminates one person in the room. And basically what we're going to be doing is taking out each person consecutively in their room so that it's eventually just us and the target. There's that guard and 2 other maids with the main target, or the second target, so to speak, doing a rotation on his path. It's worth noting while you're getting these, the maids, that window is wide open, and I've been caught plenty of times by his wife that walks by, along with another maid outside that we had to sneak by originally to get in the bathroom. So be very careful in there, and be very, very careful hiding those bodies. Once those people are taken out, it's really just us and the main target, which is going to be walking in here, stopping by that desk in front of the door. It's a little out of sight at the moment, and from there you can shoot him, stab him, whatever you'd like, just to get the job done. Hiding his body is another story, though, which you'll see in just a moment. You have to go into a little hallway that is a little difficult to work with because there's a guard that continuously walks by along with a maid, and they're kind of on alternating paths. So you have to make sure you get a moment when neither of them are by the hallway so that you can actually get down there. And they can see you if this door is open. I've been caught several times when that door was just open for me trying to see better. So you'll see me here, I believe, open the door and drag him all the way out, making sure that the maid is walking away, as you can see, and the guard in just a moment will also be walking away, and that's kind of like my signal to book it. And he's walking away. There's nobody else that will walk by except for the wife, so keep that in mind in case she is walking by. But once that's done with, I basically just went out the same way that I came in because that was the easiest route, because the house is absolutely swarming with guards. So you want to be very, very careful with going anywhere. So I use the same method to get out. I just shoot that little rock right there, that cliff, and I sneak up over here through this gate to get to the last target. I'm speeding this up a little bit just because it's kind of a linear path. All you have to do is avoid the guards. In the event that they do see you and get a question mark, or not see you, but like have suspicion, you can kind of just sneak around still in the bushes and get away from them, and they'll usually just forget about you altogether. Where we have to go is pretty much straight ahead from where I'm sitting at this area, although you can't directly cut across because there's no way to, without killing or subduing people and then not hiding the bodies, those 4 people. So you see me going all the way around to get to that one location. Now, there is another route to go through a little tunnel, but we'd have to go by the swimming pool by the mansion, which again, it has a lot of sight lines from the enemies, or enforcers, so to speak, and they can just easily detect you. And I would recommend picking up a branch or something else to throw as a distraction, because this area isn't as bad, but there are still plenty of people that can actually see you and just ruin the whole thing. So I throw that branch to attract that one guard that's going to be watching, and I believe that guard also follows the last target, so it's kind of one last person that's on his 6 while he's walking around the map. And the plan is to get that guard in these bushes so I can knock him out, because there's still a window right there people can see me, as well as guards behind me in the rest of the plantation, or so to speak, and I don't want them to see me. So I'm luring him into the bushes so that I can then go and subdue him. Once he's subdued, you can just make sure that nobody is looking at you through that window. You should be fine from the guards on the right-hand side as well. They're a little bit out of sight. Just go ahead and hug the wall, or the right side of the staircase, rather, to just get onto that container on the right and hide his body. There are 2 other people you have to worry about in this area. There's a woman who's kind of working in the area along with the guy in the building. The guy in the actual building, he's not a problem. You can turn off the AC and you can get him outside. The girl does path out front, and again, on normal, professional, master, I've been caught by her seeing me through that window right there on their left, which on normal is completely open, and it's much easier. But in this one, you can't just simply get in there. So what I did was I just simply took the key off of him. I took that branch that we threw earlier and threw it again to get that woman into the house so that we can knock her out and get her out of there as well. She's going to walk in there. She didn't actually get a good spot originally, get into a good spot, so I threw a coin, and you see me just sneaking around her and knocking her out as well. And you can just hide her in the building. And from here, there really shouldn't be anything else you have to worry about as far as being seen doing something to him in the cabin, unless you like throw an explosive or something. But nobody else has a direct line of sight, at least with the method that I used. And you can see here, it's a little hard to see from the plants and all that, and I didn't want to have him see me, so I kind of had to line it up and then finally take the shot and killed him.
All targets neutralized. This should paralyze the cartel. Excellent work, officer. Now head for rest.
I didn't realize this, but the helicopter makes a really easy escape to get out of here. So you can just walk over here. I didn't speed any of this up just so you can see how I did it. I don't think you need a key per se to get into the helicopter. I wasn't too sure. I was a little bit surprised myself. I'm not sure how that can qualify for Silent Assassin either, taking off in a helicopter. But from that point forward, there's a guy on the right here that might look at you as he does for me, but you can just kind of, at your own comfort, just get in the helicopter and take off. This one definitely was annoying, but not as bad as well, actually, no, this one was by far the worst so far. This one was really, really annoying. And you can see there we got suit only along with suit only Silent Assassin. So next up is master difficulty. I gave it a couple of tries already, and it is a pain. One little tip I want to give out is just that the 3 saves I used were after I killed the first target, after I killed the second target in the bathroom, or in the showroom rather, and then after I killed the last target outside of the house. I would strongly recommend you use your autosaves as well. I don't really know if it, I'm not really sure if it ruins the authenticity of Silent Assassin, but using your autosaves is an enormous help so that you can actually kind of have additional save slots, so to speak. They save every couple of minutes, and I would strongly recommend you utilize those because they are invaluable to actually getting the goal done. But that's it for this one, guys. Have a good one.